Republicans led by Senator Lindsey Graham introduced the Protecting Pain-Capable Unborn Children from Late-Term Abortions Act, which would outlaw abortions in the United States after 15 weeks of a mother's womb's development. Democrats support abortion on demand throughout a baby's 9 months of development in the womb. The pro-life voters in America don't exactly want a complete outlaw on the murdering of embryonic life, which science confirms begins at conception, but this is a step in the right direction to at least bring the country up to par with most civilized European nations and certain U.S. states. To evaluate the plan, it's critical that everyone is aware of the facts regarding babies at this developmental time. Here are 12 facts about newborns and their growth at 15 weeks of gestation that Congress and all Americans need to be aware of. The majority of unborn children may experience pain by 15 weeks of gestation, as stated in Graham's bill's name. In fact, at just 10 weeks in the womb, the majority of kids' brains are sufficiently mature to start developing pain receptors in their skin. The nerves in the spine needed to alert the brain, specifically the thalamus, of pain experienced through those receptors have also developed by the time an animal is 15 weeks old. Although the cortex is still developing at 15 weeks, research indicates that other nervous system regions, including the brainstem, insula, and thalamus, may also contribute to the ability of unborn children to experience pain. A newborn baby's heart beats over 16 million times by the time she is 15 weeks old, pumping about 26 quarts of blood throughout her body each day. By 5 or 6 weeks into the pregnancy, this heartbeat is frequently found. Because of this, some jurisdictions, like Texas, have heartbeat laws that prohibit the dissection of unborn children after the heartbeat of that organ has been detected. Speaking of organs, by 15 weeks in the womb, all major organs in the developing baby's body are created and mostly functional. In the first 8 weeks following conception, nearly every organ and tissue forms, as Dr. Katrina Firth stated in the Charlotte Lozier Institute's On Science series. The remainder of the pregnancy is used to make these organs bigger and more developed in order to get ready for life outside the womb, according to Firth. The baby's skeleton, which serves to safeguard the nervous system, is also present by the time it is 15 weeks old and has largely changed from cartilage to bone. Unborn children have a functioning skeleton at 15 weeks of pregnancy, fully formed arms, virtually formed legs, which typically finish growing at 16 weeks, and complete arm and leg mobility. Babies in the womb can control their fingers, suck their thumbs, and even display a preference for a dominant right or left hand before they are 15 weeks old. Babies usually open and close their fingers to start exploring their new appendages. They eventually learn to grip and grab the womb all around them. Babies are capable of responding to external touches with reflexive movements by the time they are 15 weeks old. The infant's natural response to light mouth touches and tickles to move her head towards the object as if to prepare for feeding, as described by Firth. Babies begin to suckle and swallow by the time they are 15 weeks old, further preparing them for life outside the womb. Throughout their pregnancy, and until the baby is safely delivered and either breastfed or bottle-fed, they will continue to practice this skill. Babies who are still inside their mother's bodies respond to the flavors of the amniotic fluid they ingest. They have their own taste buds by the time they are 15 weeks old. By 15 weeks old, a fetus's brain development starts forming the crucial neuron connections that foster memory, judgment, emotion, and other abilities. Babies start practicing breathing by tightening their chests around the age of 10 weeks. These movements become more regular at around 13 weeks of age. Babies' ears start to develop on the sides of their heads at about 15 weeks. Babies in the womb can also hear their mother's voice, heartbeat, and digestive system when they are in their proper places. Babies will move in response to certain sounds and voices later in the pregnancy, indicating that they can hear them. An unborn baby's eyes, brows, and eyelashes have all begun to form at about 15 weeks in utero. Although a baby's eyes won't open for a while, their seeing organs can still roll, react to light, and make other random motions. Given the information on gestational development, it is easy to understand why Republicans in Congress want to follow the example of the majority of civilized European nations and some U.S. states, which have already banned abortion in order to prevent the dismemberment of developing, breathing, and active babies.